Hey, what's up, guys? My name's John. Welcome to Daily Theology. Now, Matt Walsh is one of the hosts of the Daily Wire, and it's no stranger that the guys don't think too highly of AOC, and so he recently heard about Abuela. Now, Abuela is Spanish for grandmother, and AOC said that her grandmother had been basically hurt by Donald Trump and not able to get relief because of something that he did. And so she showed pictures of her apartment or house of some kind and said she doesn't have any money. And so Matt Walsh trolled her in an epic way, but it pointed out her hypocrisy. So he started a GoFundMe. Check this out.
Of Big Orange. She put up a picture of her grandmother's house. This is her home, she wrote. Trump blocked relief money for Puerto Rico. Well, Matt Walsh, who's often on this show, felt a twinge of empathy. So he set up a fundraiser, a GoFundMe for Sandy Cortez's grandmother, but neither one of them wanted the money. Matt Walsh is the compassionate host of the Matt Walsh Show and joins us tonight with an update to this poignant tale of aid refused. Matt Walsh, first of all, thank you for doing what Sandy Cortez herself didn't do, which is trying to help her.
Just a note on Matt Walsh, he has more hair per square inch than any person alive, and his beard is ridiculously thick. He also has hair all over his wrists, if you watch carefully.
Abuela, her grandmother, what happened here?
Yeah, and thank you for giving me a chance to talk about my philanthropy, which has been a big passion of mine since last week. But listen, She claimed that her mother's been living her grandmother rather, has been living in this dilapidated shack, I guess for 4 years since the hurricane. And she's a wealthy single woman who has 2 apartments and a Tesla that she just recently bought, apparently. She, for whatever reason, refused to help her own grandmother. And so we said, all right, we'll get together and we'll raise the money. We raised $100,000 in 10 hours. Okay, we probably could have raised $1 million if they let the fundraiser continue. But someone, big scare quotes around it, in Abuela's family shut down the fundraiser about 10 hours into it and said that she doesn't want the money. Now, this raises a lot of questions, like, for example, does this mean that Abuela really wasn't in the dire straits as it was presented to us? Or would AOC prefer for her grandmother to live in that state, suffering, rather than to take money from us? I think either way, it's sort of scandalous, I think, on AOC's part.
Well, it's a little bit weird that it was left to you to help Ocasio-Cortez's grandmother. I mean, I think of you as a kind of, I don't know, caped crusader for good, a white knight in this world, but I mean, shouldn't AOC be a little ashamed of this?
Yeah, and obviously, look, I've already put my hat in the ring. If anyone wants to nominate me for a Nobel Peace Prize, I will accept it. It doesn't mean anything anyway, so you might as well give it to me. But it is interesting that she would leave her grandmother like that. And the thing is, she said, "Well, I'm focused on the systemic problems, and the government was supposed to solve this problem." Well, it does show that actually you don't have to wait around for the system to solve every problem.
Well, then it's only June 7th. We can say this is.
So he's right. She refused the money because it exposed her. And this is the problem with politics, and this is a big problem with the younger generation. I think she's close maybe to my age, or maybe younger, but she doesn't want help. She wants to virtue signal. She wants to use this as a political talking point to advance her own agenda, which is sad that you would use your grandma for this. Somebody raises a ton of money and possibly more that you could have used, I think, for anything, and you say, "We're not taking your money." Well, why did you do the thing then? And why do you really even care? And the answer is, of course, no, she doesn't care. If she did care, here are the pictures, she would have taken the money. It was free money, and 10 hours in, they had $100,000. Wow, unbelievable. So this exposes the hypocrisy. So what's the lesson here? Well, number one, we don't put our hope in the political parties, either side. They're talking heads. They want power. They want fame. They want money. And they're often not considered with godliness and character. And the Bible is very clear on this, that our hope and trust should be in God alone. It should be in the finished work of Jesus Christ alone. That will never fade. It will never change. It's called an inheritance that never changes. The political guard in our nation comes and goes. There'll be people that will come and go and say things and promise things and not come through. And so we always trust in the promises of God because God never changes and he never lies. On the cross, Jesus paid an infinite wrath debt for anyone that will repent and believe the gospel. He also lived a perfect, sinless life. He fulfilled the law that you never could, and then paid the wrath debt of hell that we deserve on the cross, died, and is risen. So the answer here is to not get caught up in the day-to-day, though it is important, but don't let it affect your mood. Put your trust and hope firmly in Jesus Christ, and he will never let you down. He will never forsake you. Thanks for watching. Please remember to hammer that like button, like the 95 Theses, and if you haven't yet, come on, what you doing? Subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and God bless.